All right, guys, here's what we have going. You each have goals on your IEP, your individual education program. And these are possible reading goals. Between my two classes, everyone has at least one of these goals. So somebody somewhere in these classes has a goal that is similar to this or that includes it. So I want to see how many of you can identify your own goals. So I'm going to go through each slide, and in Edpuzzle here, you are going to answer the question of whether you think this is one of your goals. Is it something that you need to work on? Okay, so let's start with our first one. Do you think you need help with main idea? Now, main idea is what a reading or book or text is about. I'm going to use the word reading, book, story, text. I'll use those words interchangeably because they all mean basically the same thing. It's just something you're going to read. So, do you think you need help with main idea? Do you think you need help with finding details? Now, the details of a reading or book or text are related to the main idea. It's the proof or ideas that connect to the main idea. So, do you think you need help with finding details? Do you think you can name the characters, setting, and events in a story? So the characters are who is in the story. Setting is where the story takes place. And events are what happens in a story. So do you think that this is an area where you need some help? Do you need help figuring out who's in the story, where it is, and what happened? Can you sequence a story? So sequence means to put things in the order that they happened. So are you able to identify what happened first, second, third, last in a story, that kind of thing? Or is that something you need help with? So can you sequence? Do you think you understand the vocabulary in stories? So vocabulary are the words that are specific to a story. I'm not talking about and or the, those kind of words. That's not where we're going. I'm talking about the larger words. Do you think that's something you need more work on? Or do you think that's something that you're pretty good at? When you read stories, can you answer comprehension questions? So comprehension questions are the questions to see if you understand a story. They're questions that can be answered by looking at the story. They're often called right there questions because the answers are right there in the story. It would be something where you would answer it and you just saw those words in the story. Can you read multisyllable words? So multisyllable words are longer words where you need to slow down a bit and kind of sound it out. So multisyllable is a multisyllable word. It's a longer word. Do you think that's something you need to work on, or you think you got that down? Can you read fluently? When you read a story aloud or in your head, can you do it without long pauses and making errors? Or does it take you a while to get through stuff? So, can you read fluently? When you read, do you skim and use text features? So these are both strategies to help you improve in reading. So is this something you do? Skimming is when you look over the text quickly. So you're not reading every single word. You're just kind of going over it fast, looking for some key information. That's skimming. Now, text features are the parts of a nonfiction text that help the reader understand information better. So that would include like the captions and maps. I know we did this last year in both my class and Miss Feck's class. So those nonfiction, those text features. So, do you skim and use text features? Can you use context clues? Context clues are the words in a sentence that help you understand the sentence. So they might be like the words around it explaining it, or sometimes there's a comma with a definition right next to it. So do you ever use context clues to help you understand a sentence? It's where you're kind of looking back at the rest of the sentence to try to help you figure out what a word means and then what the whole sentence means. Can you answer inference questions? Now, inference questions are questions about the text, but it's where the text doesn't have the exact answer there. So there's not a right there answer, but it gives you hints about what the answer is. So it makes you think a little bit more in your head to come up with an answer. And with inference questions, often there's more than one right answer, but depending on how much information the text gives you, there might just be one right answer. So, can you answer inference questions? Can you use textual evidence to support your answers? What's textual evidence, you ask? It's exact words from a reading or a text that prove that your answer is right. It's like when we ask you a question and you're like, well, the text said this, so I know I'm right. That text, those words from the book, from the story, that is your textual evidence. All right, that is it for this Edpuzzle. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you thought hard, or at least thought a little bit, about your answers before you gave them. All right, bye.